And now a discussion with MEC Chair Captain Brian Noyes.
So I'm currently a 787 captain based out of Houston. I've been with United for 30 years now, since January. I flew with the line for the first 15 years, and in 2011 I joined up with the local council, at that time it was Denver, for their scheduling group. And from there in 2012 I jumped up to the System Schedule Committee within the MEC and done a variety of roles there: pairings, PBS, fatigue, FAR 117, FRMS. And in 2015 I jumped up into national as well, where I became part of the flight time, duty time group. And did a chair for that from 2018 and on. That also led me into International Federation of Airline Pilots, or IFALPA, where I was a member of the Fatigue Management Working Group as well as the Safety Management Working Group. Those roles also placed me into the Reduced Crew Operations Group and Crew Rest Oversight Groups, either here or at National, so safety work was done on that side as well. Late in 2023, I ran and became the vice chairman for the union, and of course now here we're looking at myself as the master chair. Biggest priorities: safety is always the number one. That is without standing, that's our cornerstone of how we operate. And that is, with my experience back in safety and going forward, that is always going to be the argument that we have. We got to make sure our pilots are safe, that we're fighting for their safety, and that we don't see a degradation in that in any way or form. Secondary, education. Our pilots, we saw coming through the past contract to what we have coming up in UPA 2027, we need to educate our pilots. They need to understand all the intricacies of our contract so that they're well informed, so they can make good decisions about giving us direction of where to go. And some of that direction comes into the strategic plan. So we recently passed a strategic plan at the last MEC meeting, and that is a live document, so that needs to be developed and followed, and that applies to the MEC, our local councils, and all of our committees. Some of the biggest challenges is to foster the growth and unity of our pilots. Our pilots need to remain engaged. We've seen in the past where they're not reading all of our comms, but they're finding different avenues of getting information. We need to bring them back to the union, whether that's further development of podcasts or other communication measures or the ALPA app. We need to bring our pilots in and then unify them and make sure that they're engaged with us. We have multiple unity events out there. These are all targets that we need to target our pilots to get into and come in and see the local councils and be part of the local councils as well, because we need to hear their voice. We need to primarily uphold our current contract. We have a great team up here at the MEC, that contract compliance and negotiators and committees that are always watching and seeing what's going on with the company and fighting for our rights. We need to continually uphold those and fight for every single pilot that we have. Additionally, we need to look for incremental gains. As we are fully engaged with the company and building trust and just communicating with the company, we find these areas where we can add to our contract without having to be in official negotiations. These would be increasing the safety programs, increasing areas that we just need to continue on, and that also then turns around and helps support our LECs. The LECs need to make sure that we have their back, and all of our committees as well that provide that same information, that we're hearing them, listening to them, and pushing forward their agendas, as well as upholding the contract and making sure we're fighting for every pilot here. My message is be engaged. Again, communications, unity, be engaged, as well as then stay informed. If you're not informed, you're not engaged. And lastly, as I said previously, unified. As a group, we need to have one voice, be fully unified, especially as we approach into the next cycle of UPA 2027. A unified voice and a unified group is going to make us just go further.